Hello there, Gemini, and welcome back to my channel. I'm Mary Sue, and I'm so grateful that you're here. So today I'm doing your weekly tarot reading. This is a general reading, and it'll be for the week of September 26th. We'll take a look of the overall energies with the oracle cards, and then we'll go to the tarot for some more details. And if you're resonating with the message or enjoying the content that I create, I would really appreciate it if you would consider like, sharing, or subscribing. Okay, let's get into your reading, Gemini. So, we have a lot of intense energies. We have a full moon this week. We also have the autumn equinox, and then we have some retrograde energies also playing into everything else. And so it is quite intense. So please be gentle with yourself and make sure that you're practicing self-care. So let's take a look at your Sacred Soul Travelers oracle card, Staying Focused. Hold the course. Oh, Gemini. Now, I am actually a Gemini sun, and I will have to admit that this totally resonates with me because as a Gemini, sometimes, we're on a path and we think it's the path for us, and then things are, you hit a little bump in the road and then you're kind of like, no, I'm changing course. Because I always have a new idea. And I'm sure you do too. So this is really Spirit coming in and saying, hey, you know what, Gemini, you are on the right course. Just stay focused. Don't let all the shiny things around you kind of, take your attention away from whatever goal or dream, you're working on right now, whether you're looking for a new relationship, a new career path, a new house, a new job, whatever it is that you're kind of looking for, just keep your eye on the prize. That's the message I'm getting. Keep your eye on the prize. And especially with all of these energies, it's really hard to sometimes say, okay, I'm just gonna, get up and continue doing what I want to do. Tender embrace. I love this. To me, this really symbolizes that there could be somebody that a loved one that has passed. And the tender embrace is kind of like, an angel or a past loved one, your spirit guides coming in and just kind of giving you a hug, letting you know that things are okay. You're going to meet that goal, to stay focused and not to lose hope. It is, that staying focused is really kind of almost, it's kind of like, you see how he has the telescope and he's looking way out in the distance. And Gemini, you may be dreaming really big, which is great. But it's like you may be feeling like, am I ever going to get there? It's just so far away. And this is, just kind of like, yeah, you're going to be okay. It's going to be okay. You're on the right path. I really get a sense that Spirit wants you to continue on this path, that you may have like, some type of spiritual, calling here. I cannot believe that I just pulled this card and you saw me shuffle. All that glitters. This is staying focused. And, I said earlier when I pulled this, it's like, don't let the shiny things, distract you from whatever your goal is. So it's definitely about, you are on the right path. Don't let the things that can come in. And, sometimes all that glitters also is an indication of masks. Whether you're wearing the mask or people around you are wearing a mask, you may be actually getting some unsolicited advice from friends and family that mean well, but sometimes when you get free advice, you have to keep in mind that the person that's giving you the advice may also have some type of secret motive, right? They're wearing a mask. They're giving you advice that in a way kind of helps them at the same time. And so it's about, listening to your own heart. Making sure you're not masking your feelings or your motives, and just really staying focused on your goal. Listening to your heart, not allowing your ego or anybody else to distract you. Sometimes it is hard. Sometimes our ego can be, the biggest distractor of all. Okay, so we're going to take a look at your present energy, areas of resistance or obstacles, advice from spirit, and then finally the outcome. And remember, Gemini, you always have free will, so you can always choose to go in the path that or the direction that you think is best for you. Okay, your present energy is Ten of Swords. Something has had to come to an end because you have this card, staying focused. This is a painful ending. And it's kind of interesting. This week I've gotten a lot of, readings that are really about some type of painful ending. And, we're going to see what the rest of this reading is, but about wanting to go back to something. And this is kind of like that energy of no, stay focused and move forward. So it's about perhaps needing to go a little bit slower. Maybe Gemini, you're trying to push past this painful ending, and at the same time, because of that, you're impatient with where you really want to go. So let's go ahead and get some more tarot and see what we have here. So let's take a look at your obstacle. Ten of Swords is kind of a difficult energy. Six of Pentacles, you're having a hard time bringing things back into balance, whatever that may mean for you. Exchanging, you may be putting a lot of time and energy into something, a goal that you really want to accomplish, but you're putting all this time and energy in it and you feel like you're not getting any benefits yet. You're not seeing the harvest from, planting the seeds. And so you're just kind of like almost giving up. I think it's kind of interesting. I get the same type of energy from both of these. It's kind of like, you have two elephants here and then two ladies here. It's, about finding perhaps a true friend, a soulmate, somebody that can kind of help guide you. You may feel like right now, since this is in your obstacle, you don't have somebody you can really trust. If you look at the two of them, it's a very balanced type of energy with the Six of Pentacles, but it's also, it's like they're looking at each other face to face, eye to eye. I'm getting the sense that maybe you feel like you don't have somebody in your life that you can, help you stay focused. And that possibly this Ten of Swords is kind of like, you may have ended a job, a career, a relationship, and you just haven't found the balance after that with somebody else. I get the sense that it's like a companion, it could be, romantic, but it's just like, you just want a big hug. Well, Gemini, I'm sending you out a big hug. So let's see what your advice is. Nine of Pentacles. Really celebrating your freedom and your independence, your singlehood if you're single. This is like the single lady card. Gender doesn't matter. But the Nine of Pentacles is about really just kind of working on yourself. For a long time, perhaps, you were giving a lot to other people. And now you're kind of like, hey, I got to give to myself. I got to look out for me. I want to build my financial stability. Maybe you want to start a new business. It's really about embracing who you are, which is kind of interesting because we have this. When I pulled this for the first time, like this is really about balance. I really got this sense of companionship. But perhaps, we're going to clarify these, but perhaps it's about you getting really set in yourself, feeling really good about where you are. And then the outcome is the Five of Pentacles. This card has been coming up so much lately. The nice thing about the Five of Pentacles, the Five of Pentacles is feeling out and alone. And the only other thing I could say about fives is that it means that there is change. Like some change has to occur. Some change is going to occur because sometimes we can't change things until we get to the point where we are really kind of like sick and tired of the way they are, right? It's kind of like maybe you feel like you need to lose a little weight, okay? And it's kind of like, okay, well, maybe I'll start on Monday. And then, well, I'll start next week or whatever, about going on a diet or exercising or something like that. And then you go in and you go into your closet and you're like can't fit into any of your clothes. I mean, I'm not saying that, it's just like all of a sudden, like all of the waistbands are just a little bit too small and you're kind of like, really frustrated with yourself. Why couldn't I, start that diet last week or something like that? Why did I let this get out of control? But you almost have to get to that sense of frustration before you say, okay, that is it. I'm starting the diet right now. It's that type of energy. Okay, so we're going to see, what do we have? High Priestess. Yeah, I really feel like you have to go within. There's something about going within, listening to your heart. I get a sense that, there could be a lot of people, once again, around you giving you free advice. And it's about, you can listen to the free advice. But at the same time, you want to, dismiss things that aren't really striking at your heart. If somebody says something to you and it's like you feel it in your heart, like, oh my goodness, that's like a message for me. Like your heart really, says, yes, that's a message for me. Then that's something to listen to. Everything else is just, somebody else's ideas. And it's about you stepping into what is good for you. Yeah, because look at this. Wow. Look at this. I think for some of you, you really are trying to build, a career. This is Pentacles. We have the Six of Pentacles. We have the Five of Pentacles. Lots of Pentacles. So it could be about like finances, money, career, your job, something like that. But look at this. It's about going within. And almost the word that they're giving me is harvesting your own power. Really interesting. It's like go within. You have the power within you to stay focused and to accomplish this goal, whatever you're trying to work on. Because look at here, we have the Eight of Pentacles. You're trying to work on something, and soon you are going to be celebrating it. The Three of Cups to me is also like it's divinely guided, and with this tender embrace, I get that same like somebody from on the other side. Maybe a parent that has passed, a grandparent, a sister or a brother, somebody on the other side is rooting for you. They're on your side because threes are always about, co-creating with the universe. Really interesting. Okay. I saw this card, but I wasn't going to pull it. Oh my goodness. Now I know why they want me to pull it. Wow. Okay, so we have the Ace of Swords here. Now, if you look at the Ace of Swords, this is actually a gentleman that has kind of like this shell, a nautical shell, headdress on. And if you notice, if you look right there, I hope you can see it, there's like a little lock. Opening, right? There's a little keyhole, and then he's holding the key to whatever it is. Like if you're like, I don't know if I'm on the right path. Spirit wants you to know you are on the right path. There's just some magic that you need to unlock, and that you hold the key that unlocks your own intuition. It's really about quieting your mind and going within, because we've had the High Priestess. There's somebody, and once again, listen to your dreams. Keep a dream journal. There's a message. I really get the sense that there's somebody perhaps on the other side that is trying to give you a message, or your guides are, your angels are. There's a true message, some way for you to unlock, the secret. that you need for this to come together. Because look at then what we have. We have Sun, which is happiness, abundance, joy, money, whatever it is that you want, it's on its way. And then we have the Ace of Cups. And to me, the Ace of Cups is a new love. It's kind of like also you putting your love out into the world. It's finding the love that you need for yourself. It's kind of like by working on whatever this project or job or business, whatever it is, it's helping you to build your independence and your financial security, and also to build, I want to say, not necessarily your love for yourself, but your confidence. There's something, I think a lot of you may in some way be starting, a new career or business or something. Look at how, she's holding this cup, and then all of these butterflies are coming out. It's almost like whatever you're trying to start is like going to spread out to the world. Really interesting. I wonder if, some of you had a painful ending that is really going to help you to step into a spiritual business, maybe a healer, a mystic, something like that. So let's go ahead and clarify these. Let's start with this Ten of Swords, Five of Pentacles, Two of Swords, Six of Pentacles. Okay, you have the Six of Wands on the bottom. You are going to have victory. Knight of Wands. Okay, so this is the message that I'm getting, is that you can step into your victory as soon as you take action on regaining your power. It's almost like you're self-sabotaging yourself. Now, in the past, there could have been somebody like an emperor, somebody that kind of stole your power. Because the Seven of Swords is like betrayal, but it can also be sneaking off in the middle of the night. But the Emperor definitely is about, building wealth, business. It can also mean, somebody that's kind of controlling. And I get the sense that maybe you had something that came to an end, or you feel like is coming to an end, that had to do either with business. So maybe, if you have a business, maybe, you feel like, okay, the business is, going under. Or it could mean that somebody in your life was extremely controlling, and you've had to either end that relationship or are thinking of ending that relationship. And I'm going to say, look at this. Oh, Gemini. Lots of, we have the Five of Pentacles, the Two of Swords. Just, it's kind of like a sense of not believing in yourself. I feel like for a lot of you, you may have even lost some money, or you may have left a job thinking you could get another one, and now your finances, you're just kind of concerned. There are a lot of pentacles. So I think for a lot of you, it has something to do with finances, money, or career. But it's having doubt. You're doubting yourself. You're kind of like, I just don't know if it's almost like you're putting an end to it. It's like you want to just end it because it's like, it's not working out. And yet, what do you got? Stay focused. Your guides are really saying it's time to stay focused. Sometimes we have to go through those valleys to get, to climb up the next mountain. And it's in those moments that we learn something really deep about ourselves. Okay, so let's take a look at this Six of Pentacles. Oh my. Okay, we have the Magician on the bottom. Yeah, you're trying to manifest something. So this is your area of resistance or your obstacle. You're trying to find balance. Balance in a relationship, balance even in a business relationship, or balance, between money and the time and effort that you're putting into something. Like you could even have a job and you're working a lot of long hours, but they're not really paying you what you're worth. It's just feeling like, hey, this is not working out. I'm not, this isn't I'm putting a lot of time and effort into this, but I'm not getting what I really want out of it. And yet, look at this. This is like getting a message or information about a Two of Cups. So once again, that could be somebody from the past, getting a message from somebody from the past. It could be that you put a lot of time and effort into a relationship in the past and it didn't work. Or for some of you, you're, wanting to get some information from either a past romantic connection or business partner. You're just kind of like waiting. I get this sense that you're just kind of like waiting. I got the, they just said waiting in the wings. It's like you're waiting in the wings. And meanwhile, it's kind of like, okay, I'm trying to get something started here. It's almost like you're trying to get your new life, whatever that may mean for you, however this message is resonating, started. We have the Magician on the bottom. It's kind of like, yeah, which way do I go? I want a plan. I want to take action. I want joy and happiness and abundance in my life. Yeah. And still kind of like waiting on, it's almost like you're waiting on love. Now, it could be waiting on love from a certain person, or it could be waiting on love from like the universe, or even your clients, or, like on my YouTube channel, like my viewers, like you. Like, it could be that you're just kind of waiting. It's like, listen, I'm putting a lot of time and energy into this. Doesn't anybody like this? It's kind of interesting. Okay, so let's look at this Nine of Pentacles. Now remember, this is your advice from Spirit. And Spirit is saying, yes, you need to kind of work on yourself, work on your freedom, be really grateful for what it is that you have already created. I feel like you've created something, but it hasn't really gone exactly where you wanted it to go. So, oh yes. Oh my goodness. Okay, Eight of Pentacles, working on something. Queen of Swords, seeing it clearly. King of Cups. And the Fool card with the Lovers card. So there you are. You're the lovers. Going in a new direction. Going in the direction of something that is close to your heart. Okay. Now, I'm hesitating because I was really trying to make this a general reading, and it keeps trying to. So we'll talk about both scenarios, okay? So this is the Nine of Pentacles, trying to build your freedom, your independence, financial stability, like doing it on your own. And then we have this. We have the Devil and the Judgment card. So the Devil represents attachments, or obsessions with something. And then the Judgment card is somebody perhaps coming back from the past, but it can also mean like choices, like a fork in the road, And then we have the Ten of Wands. So we have another 10. I really feel like, Gemini, you're kind of at the end of a cycle. You're like having to clean out this, I'm going to say it, toxic energy. It's time to put an end to it. And, you have the Fool card. It's like, yeah, go in a new direction. Now, you have to stay focused. So I'm not saying that what you're doing now is not what you should be doing. I think you're on the right path. But I think for some of you, there's like this obsession. This attachment to something from the past. And it could be that, whatever this painful ending was, kind of like really did, it put a little ding in your self-confidence. And it's kind of like you were like, okay, I'm going to go in my own direction. I'm going to get started on this. I'm going to build my own business. I'm going to, start my new life. You were kind of like in that, I got this, I can do it. And I know you, Gemini, you can. And you've kind of gotten to this little valley once again. And it's kind of like, It's taking the wind out of your sails. That's what they said. Okay, it's taking the wind out of your sails, and it's kind of like, no, you just have to stay focused. Like, don't let this. To me, this is like the all that glitters, right? I was like, okay, I'm just gonna go in a new direction, because with the Judgment card, it can mean like a fork in the road, like you're attached to always choosing a new path instead of finishing something out. And it's like, here's the Ten of Wands is like finishing a cycle, finishing something out. And I think for some of you, it is about putting something from the past to rest. And even if it was a relationship or a job or whatever, it doesn't matter. It's kind of like, okay, I am done with that. And I'm done with all the sad feelings about it. And, allow those feelings to come up, especially with this retrograde. Like, allow those feelings to come up, process them, appreciate them, love them, say thank you, and then release them. And especially with the full moon, the full moon is, 5 days before, 5 days after. You could do a moon ceremony, a burning ceremony. It's about putting something from the past. It's okay. The message that they gave me is that you're having this little obstacle because it's going to help almost like trigger some of these old feelings that you have about something that happened in the past, like a relationship that ended, something that may have absolutely nothing to do with what it is that you're trying to work on now. But it's kind of like you've hit this little lull. Well, life is full of ebb and flow, right? It has its highs and its lows, and that's just the way life is. And if you're in a little lull right now, so if your business isn't growing as fast as you wanted it to, or as fast as it was, or your relationship is kind of like, if you're in a romantic relationship, is kind of like hit a little lull, it doesn't mean that you throw the baby out with the bathwater. It just means you're just hitting a lull. And this lull is almost like put on your past, so to help bring up, to trigger some of those maybe past feelings that you have not yet processed. Like, you may think that you've processed them, and I'm not saying you haven't worked on them, you have, but it's like there's some residue that you need to let go so that you can step in to this new energy. And then look at this. I just looked at the bottom, the star card, right? It's about healing. It's about seeing your light. It's about moving forward. It's like looking up into the sky and saying, yeah, that's where I want to go. And then staying focused on it. One of the things that I think is really important is asking yourself why. You set some goal in the past, and it's kind of like you've been focused on it until this little lull, and it's coming back to your why. Go back to your why. Why is it that you want to do this? And maybe even like put it on a big piece of paper and tape it to your bathroom mirror, and put one on your refrigerator or whatever. Because with this card, it's kind of like you may have started out having a why, and that why maybe has shifted over time. And it's about getting back to the real reason why you started on this path. Why did you, even going back to why did you leave, this situation in the past? Why did you leave it? Like, getting really clear to yourself and say, oh, yes, now I remember. Now I remember why. Why did you start this new business? Getting really clear about it, and then, that will help you to get more focused on how to go forward. All right, let's take a look at this Five of Cups. Five of Pentacles. Okay, Three of Pentacles on the bottom. That's like working together. There's something, there is, the wheel is under here, the Wheel of Fortune. So things are going to be turning in your favor. There is something you have to walk away from. Gemini, you're going to be the one. This is also your soul journey. To me, this is like going away from something that maybe wasn't terrible to move towards something that is better. And at the same time, this is also about going ahead and and walking on your soul journey. And sometimes you do have to do that by yourself. That could be why the Five of Pentacles is here. It's kind of like you've had to maybe leave something in the past. You've started on something new, but it's kind of like you're hitting this patch that's making you feel lonely, but you're on the right path. You're on your spiritual path. This is really kind of like just recognizing that you are on your soul path. And, there could be, I am getting message that there could be somebody from the past that regrets something that ended. But at the same time, it's about you may be feeling, the Five of Swords is kind of like up in your head and kind of regrets, but it can also be like determination. And it's with the Lover's card here, because the Lover is the choices that we make. It's about you may be regretting this choice that you've made, but the truth of the matter is that this is a good choice for you. You're on your spiritual path. You had to leave something in the past that, once again, with this card, they're telling me it may not have been extremely horrible. Okay. You may have just kind of left something because it was like not really for you. And it's kind of, sometimes that can be really hard to leave something that's just really not for you. And you don't have a really good reason to leave it, but it can also still be really painful because it puts us up in our head, especially Geminis, right? It's kind of like being an air sign, and Geminis are really good about second guessing themselves. And I feel like you're at that point where you're just kind of like second guessing, am I on the right path? Am I doing the right thing? Yes, you are. You are on the right path. Okay, so let's see what your creativity oracle card, growth. Feel open, willing, and proud of your desire to explore new opportunities for self-development. I think for some of you, you may have left a job, a relationship, a situation to go onto your spiritual path and to go to grow, you wanted to grow yourself. And the people that you've left behind, this Five of Pentacles could actually represent the people that you've left behind, that they're feeling sad, like they may feel like you left, but you didn't, it wasn't like you had a big fight. You may not have had a big fight or something like that. And it's kind of like, I have to go do this thing. And now, people are feeling sad. You may even be feeling like, okay, I quit my big job and now I've started this spiritual business as a healer or mystic or whatever. And it's kind of like, yeah, it's just not taking off. I don't know. Am I on the right path? Yes, you are on the right path. Yeah, it's really interesting. Okay, let's pull this, and then I might pull something else. Let's see. Time. Ugh, you were trying too hard. Give it time. I think that's why you have to just stay focused. Look on here too. There's like an eye, right? It's like keep your eye on the prize. You're just trying too hard. It's about just, if you look at her, she's walking away, but she's walking away very calmly, peacefully. It's about realizing that you may be going through a little bit of an emotionally cleansing type of energy right now, especially with these retrogrades. So it's like, okay, whatever you're working on, it needed to have a lull so that you could allow these feelings to come up. You could process them, have time Like if you started this business and it took off really fast, and then now you're like hitting this lull, and you're kind of like, I just don't know what's going on. It's just you need some time to pull back from it, is what I'm getting. You needed some time, and perhaps, trying to tweak it in a little ways, being creative with it, experimenting. Like, take this opportunity, this lull, in order to try new things and to work on you or your business. That's really interesting. It's almost like it's not soul searching. It really is. It's self development. That's what it is. It's really kind of interesting. All right, well, Gemini, I'm going to leave it there. I hope you enjoyed this message. I really did enjoy doing it for you. And if you resonated with it, I'd really appreciate it if you would consider like, sharing, or subscribing. And I do wish you much love and light in this situation and all your situations. And I hope to see you again really soon. Bye for now.